I would love to have all our amazing mods on stage. So if you can raise your hands, that'd be awesome.
Hello, hello.
Okay, let's call it at last. Come on, I see you,
Hello.
Bobby.
Good morning.
Krolik. Come over. We want our amazing mods team here. Don't hesitate to spam all the channels. We need everyone in the AMA. There are a lot of background noise behind me, by the way.
No, it's all good.
I'm walking my dog and he's me, so I might every so often tell him to come. Come on, puppy. Let me write a quick tweet just to get back on stage in the audience. Okay, for all the mods, the audience, please join the stage. Make sure that you're here. How's everyone doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Yeah, right.
Doing great. I wish I could show you the view. I went in. It was VC2 earlier and was showing the great views in the morning in New York when it's not freezing like crazy.
One day I'll come see what it's like.
Do it. We're gonna invade rebels invading New York.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll come 16-hour flight.
Yeah, that's a long one. We actually were thinking of doing like something, just like for like a cool like small marketing op like a while ago when we're at the very beginning of the project with like a bunch of people, probably like 100 people with like balaclavas in Paris and kind of like filming it, or in New York on Times Square. And then when we realized the amount of problems that it would cause with the police, we were just like, okay, never mind. That's probably not the right thing. Rebels is probably like the worst project in the NFT space to do something like this,
Maybe one day in the future.
Maybe. Okay, we're starting to have some few people in the audience. Thank you so much, Ifas, there are some people on the West Coast that woke up early for this one. We just wanted to make sure that everyone around the globe got a chance to join. I just posted on Twitter. Hopefully, like everyone is joining. If we can have like a last reminder across all the channels in the Discord, that would be dope.
Yeah, I'm just letting all the channels know.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I would love for to I'm obviously like very happy to go through like the set of questions and share all my thoughts about all the great questions that have been asked. But I would love also for me to spend a bit of time asking a few questions to the Mats team, because I feel like I'm receiving a lot of questions, but there are just so many great things that all team here is doing. I would love to spend time on that as well.
Sounds good.
We want to know all your darkest secrets. Let's do it. Okay, I think that we're reaching quorum. 300 people. Good. Actually, don't know. How do I check it whether it's being recorded or not? Is there a way for me to know?
I can record it. I don't believe these ones are recorded through the Discord, so I'll just chuck my
Okay.
recording on.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much, Trista.
Yeah.
All right. Does someone wants to be master of ceremony, or should I go through the questions? Okay, it'd be best if someone was emceeing. Do you all have access to the questions, by the way? Yeah, I think that's like everyone has access to the AMA. To the AMA question. Maybe Bobby, do you want to Bobby, Flora? I don't know if someone wants to ask questions.
Yeah,
Being
I can.
MC.
I'll
Okay,
I'll check it on here.
sounds good. I don't want it to be between Nas and Nas. That's all.
No, it's all good. I was just setting up
Yeah,
the recording.
I'm here. I'm here.
Again, if there is any mod in the audience, please join us on stage.
Yeah, I'll check. Let me see who's in the stage. Who is it?
Which channel was the questions channel?
It's like a threads and Discord announcements. There is a threads AMA questions, March 20th.
I don't know. I can't find it. Can someone like tag me there?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
sure. Hold on a sec.
So, how's your weekend, Nas? Nas and Nas, AMA.
It's great actually. I'm like I've been having like a lot of immigration issues actually, and was stuck in the US for quite a bit, for actually like over 2 years and a half. And so my family-in-law, so I met my fiance right before the pandemic, and couldn't meet her family. She couldn't meet mine, and so my family-in-law basically came like unannounced and fully by surprise. So I was like super excited to spend like a lot of time with them for the first time. It was awesome. One of my best weekends.
Yeah, and it comes for like the projects as well and your day job. I believe it's so stressful for you, but we're all gonna make it. So And
We're all gonna make it, that's for sure.
yeah, congrats for your engagements. Are you gonna invite us for the wedding or?
Yeah, I'm gonna invite the 12,000 people. It's gonna be a big venue.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have Rebel with you. That's gonna be insane.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Like, if we were to do like an event at some point, IRL, I'm actually curious how many people would show up. If we do like one in Europe, one in America, what it would look like.
Oh, well, I mean, I would like the Europe one, but I also want to see Alina, so I really want to visit the US sometime soon. Yeah, we'll see. Should I just start with the questions or like?
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds great. Let's start with the
Nas, should we do any announcements so people can see that we have this AMA on the announcement channel?
do you have the rights to write one? I can write one.
I think it's only you and Sophie that can do that in the real announcement channel.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
let me do that.
Tag it. Like just tag everyone.
Okay, give me a second. Can I do that right now? It's very hard. I have so many channels.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm just typing it.
no worries. Time. Izuki, I tagged you. You can check it out. Like if you see it's a thread called Rebels AMA March 20. Okay, someone asked what would be the mint price. It's gonna be 0.08 plus gas.
Also,
0.08.
a lot of people have been asking when will we expect to see the mint date? When will...
Yeah, so for this, again, I think that like the simple answer is that it's gonna be we're trying to make it in the first half of April. It sounds realistic right now to like, given the collection. On the tech side, we're gonna kind of adjust the timeline accordingly, and by tech side I mean the customization. So we might have like a little bit of time window between the reveal and enabling the customization. Give me a second. I'm still trying to like type it. Is there a way for me to kind of like directly link the? What is the name of like this specific channel? Actually, I'm trying to find it. I want to kind of like link.
You want to get like a link for the invite, like to
For
the
the
stage?
announcement. For the like
if you get into the the announcement channel and tag everyone, so everyone get the tag.
No, but I'm trying to I'm trying to have like a link directly
Zio?
to the.
Oh,
Zio told you how to do it in the SAF chat.
I'll paste it in the Ceph chat. The link.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just pasting this link, right? Okay, do it. Okay, so like like on the date, it's still the same. We're basically finishing the collection. We're starting to list kind of like all the set of patches that we want to have for the first basically like the first like patch collection. And yeah, like I mean more info on that like very soon. but we're headed in the very like the right direction and should be on time for first part of April, basically first half of April. Laura, trick stuff. Do you want to continue with the?
Yeah, I'm just fine. Is there going to be rarity and traits on the rebels?
There will be obviously, like all the traits are gonna have, all the attributes are gonna have different values, and the attributes are gonna have different levels of rarity. We have like a good sense now of like the rarity system that we want to have in place, which is gonna be basically like asset based. So which type of object do you carry, but also the color system. Our color system is actually pretty unique because you have like lots of projects that may have like in their generative process they actually may have colors that don't go well together. For example, red with green, and like a few other colors that like don't really match when others are like a perfect match. Like typically like pink and gray and like a few other combinations. And so we really wanted to best basically for each one of them to look amazing. And so the colors, basically like our algorithm that generates the collections not only knows which combinations of items go together, but also which combination of colors go well together. And so this is there's going to be rarity based on colors and rarity based on the types of items that you have. One thing that I would like to emphasize is that there will not be any one-of-ones in the collection. And the reason for this is really tied to two things. The first one is that one-of-ones, these tend to kind of swallow a lot of the not only hype, but also liquidity for the collection. For example, if someone is buying, I don't know, one of one in a certain collection for 200 ETH, it's actually potentially 200 ETH spread over several, like rare but not unique ones that could have been done. And so like, and the price is very much like exponential. If I did like quite a bit of data analysis on basically like a price to rarity. I can show like a few graphs actually for those who are interested. I did kind of like a distribution of like basically price versus rarity, and you can see that like when the rarity kind of like explodes, the price explodes with it. And this is not something that I personally like to have. I think that like, for example, Bored Ape did it really well. CryptoPunk did it really well. Astuki did that as well, I believe. And so we're seeing a lot of collections like these where there is no unique one. And so like the kind of like liquidity is just like more spread over. And the thing that is great is that when you have like rare ones that are taken by, I would say, kind of like the like a very high profile people, it still leaves you a chance, you or anyone out there, like even like other whales or whatever, to do their best to join the club with the same attributes. And so this is what we're seeing, for example, for like Bored Ape with kind of like the Golden Ape Club. They have like their own small club, and it's kind of like having even like communities, even for the most exclusive, quote unquote. Personally, like I don't like this term, but like just having like sub communities, even for like trades that are more rare, is super important. You don't want anyone to be kind of like above the rest, right? Like for I think that like the mutant stuff with like the Mega Mutant was so first, like they didn't like these can be considered as like legendaries, right? But like the way it was structured with having like a serum that was actually common, like a kind of like a token that had like several that basically it was like the same token but like with a supply of 5, I believe, or 8, I don't remember. But basically like it allowed to have kind of like this sub community of people that had the M3 serum, and even then it only also works for people who are like for communities that are like super advanced and already developed with, you know, their own sub communities and so on. So yeah, like it's a long answer to basically say that there will be no one-of-ones in our collection. We're hoping that the customization system in the future will allow us to make potentially unique patches. You know, we don't know yet. You know, there might be unique patches in the future as part of the customization. But the idea is that as the main kind of canvas, the rebels shouldn't be unique. It should be like a way to kind of like have sub communities.
Awesome. Also, what benefits will we have if we hold a Rebels NFT?
Trickster, I believe that you've been cutting a little bit, or is it just me? I couldn't hear the question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Benefits will we have if we hold the Rebels NFT?
What benefit do we have if we hold a Rebels NFT? Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah. So like the idea of the Rebel the idea of the holding the Rebel NFT as of today is that you can actually use it to customize it and display more information. We're gonna because like we haven't decided exactly how the system would work in the future, and like we also want to keep things until the last minute. You know me, but we want to have a pretty strong ecosystem around what you can customize, how you can customize it, and you know, like basically like a set of collaboration that this enables with different types of entities, whether that's like holders, creators, brands, etc. Like all the doors are open, and we want to make something that has like a tremendous amount of value, but people have to kind of like shift their mindset, as it's not really gonna be like you have like this NFT, so you get some fungible token, and the fungible token allows you to have, if you stake it, gives you access to blah 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 in the marketplace. That's not something that I find interesting in terms of like economics. But I believe in allowing people to have access to an NFT that you can actually use as a product, and actually, yeah, basically just like use your NFT like a really. In terms of like all the stuff that, you know, a lot of communities propose, you know, in terms of like accessing events, you know, a lot of like merchandise, all that stuff. I feel like this stuff is like a lot easier to do. Like it's actually it's pretty easy. You know, you basically like hire like an event manager. You have like at the entrance of the, you basically have like an event manager or a set of event managers. Then you basically agree upon like the set of experiences that you're gonna have inside, and then you just like token gate it. And the bar is very low. Like I'm like the thing that was done by like the Doodles as a Southwest was you know, it was not too complex, right? Like it was like a simple event with like a, you know, if you want to get in, I'm getting your face by this thing. But yeah, like the idea is that it's actually not hard to do like token gating for various experiences, but I feel like what is actually hard is building the infrastructure, the actual product that people will use on a daily basis. And this is not something that like anyone is doing as of today. You know, so that's gonna be the most important thing. All the rest, the merch, etc., it's actually easy to do. token gating various things through like just showing that you like prove that you own an NFT is the easy stuff. Doing the making your NFT a product that you actually want to use is a very different thing. So this is what we're gonna focus on.
Also, when will you start to nominate people for the leap role?
That's a big one, and we had like a lot of conversations with the entire squad on stage. So the answer for this is that it is gonna start today, and today we're gonna do the first wave of people who've been tremendous community builders on Discord, despite having the whitelist, continued their amazing efforts, continued onboarding people, continued answering questions, continued helping others, continued building sub-communities. We're gonna reward these people with not only a free mint, but some other stuff that we want to discuss right after. And I really want to thank every single person who's, whether you're whitelisted, whether you're not whitelisted, every time that you do an action that benefits the community, you're helping us build it, grow it, and make it a longer term ecosystem that we can all build upon, right? The idea is that when every single one of us has a rebel, we're all responsible for building value for each other in the ecosystem. This is why we want the NFTs to be CC0, or even like giving you the commercial rights. We need to like understand exactly what it looks like. But basically, the idea is that for those who are not aware, CC0 is basically when you release the intellectual property rights to anything into the public. So you basically say like, this is kind of like public service. Anyone can use that for marketing purposes, commercial purposes, anything. So this is CC0. And another thing that, for example, Bored Ape is doing, which I find is actually even more powerful, and I would love to have that. Poplamus, come on. Yeah. Sorry, my dog is pulling me like a sheep. Come on. But yeah, and the thing that Bored Ape did, which is even better in my opinion, is not putting them in CC0 and actually giving the commercial rights to the holder of the NFT. And this is a lot more powerful because now, instead of having anyone who can use your NFT for their own promotion, for their own marketing, now only you can. And this is you as a holder. And so this is even more powerful because now not only the studio doesn't have the IP property over the NFT, but you do have it. It's not everyone has access to it. It's not the studio who made it. It is you as a holder who can build your own brand around them. And this is what we're seeing with Bored Ape or CryptoPunks now, where people actually have their own Twitter account that contains basically the name of the ID of their CryptoPunk, of their Bored Ape, and they really create like a very specific brand around this NFT, visually, the token ID, and so on. And so this is a lot more powerful, and so I think that it might be like an even better option. But yeah, that's wait. What? Where was I before that? I'm trying to backtrack.
Elite, bro.
Leap
The
role,
leap
yeah,
role.
yeah.
Exactly. And so like on the thing that I wanted to say is that like we want every single person to be empowered, and so this is why we feel like if you have access to a free rebel, basically with no downside, right? Like you only have upside because you're basically getting it for free, and you're basically not losing anything if you sell it at any given time. I'm hoping that it will like really make you understand that we're here to empower you. We're basically giving something in your hand, and basically saying like this thing is yours. You can use it however you want. You can make money off of it, or you can grow it. You can help us, kind of like hatch the egg, with us, and really give you the incentive to build with us a very long-lasting ecosystem, kind of like a long-lasting ecosystem and project. And that's very important for me. But additionally, I don't want you to think like, oh, I'm just saving like 0.08 ETH, by getting to lead. We're gonna go even further than that. And yeah, let's talk about it a bit later.
What do you think about the roadmap meta, and will Rebels be implementing a roadmap in the future?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm sorry.
So roadmap. What do you think of the roadmap meta? You know how most projects kind of implement a roadmap and see what's going on in the future with the project. Will we be seeing one with Rebels?
Yeah. So I think that the way we're gonna do it is very close to the way we're gonna do it is probably gonna be very close to Yuga Labs, in the sense that, so the creators of Bored Ape, in the sense that like we really have like a very similar mindset, them and us. It's basically, there are two folds to it. The first thing is like, well, first I think that like they started with like an initial roadmap, and they realized, right, actually two roadmaps. They did like a roadmap 1, the original one, and then they did like roadmap 2.0. And I think that like themselves, they understood that the stuff that they had on the roadmap was actually not the most valuable stuff that they could come up with. It's basically the equivalent of like Apple in like the 90s saying like, oh, I'm gonna do a phone with like a 40 antennas that can that can connect anywhere on the globe. That's poor business decision. The real business decision is kind of like adapt to the market and try a product, release it, see the appetite for it, iterate. If this is like not a good product market fit, you change to something else, and so on and so on. The thing that we're seeing is that now we're in March 2022. The NFT market is young, but still has been around for enough time that like we're seeing a lot of projects that promised a lot of things and didn't deliver them. Right? Like there were projects that were doing roadmaps in April or May of last year, right? And it's been like 9 months, and we're seeing, regardless of whether they've implemented them or not, the interest is just not there, right? Like so many projects are doing the token thing, are doing marketplaces, are doing a bunch of things, and still people actually either don't care or these projects have not actually released. So I think that it just proves with enough data that actually people just prefer having great communities being built, having great ecosystems, around the community, and being able to enter the culture, to be part of, to become kind of like the main, but being like at the forefront of the mainstream. So that's I think a lot more powerful. So I don't think that we're gonna come up with like a roadmap, like a written roadmap with like, oh, this is gonna be like stage A, 2, like 3, blah blah blah. But we're gonna explain our vision in depth. We're gonna explain how we give hints how we basically plan to build this ecosystem and what it's gonna look like for you as holders, for creators, for brands, for us, for for kind of like everyone, for holders of other NFTs. Basically, we're starting to have like a very good sense of what makes sense there. So that's something that we'll share. But in time, we're not gonna have write a map ahead of time that doesn't make sense and doesn't apply to the market in 6 months. It doesn't make sense to me. By the way, the NFT market now is very different from the NFT market from 2 months ago. We all know that. So me making something, writing down something now that may be completely invalid in 2 months from now, just because I don't know, Instagram launched or whatever, and now like the customer base is completely different, or like the opportunities are completely different, etc. It doesn't make any sense. So I want us to stay like very agile and really listen to the market.
Why is there more than 10K NFTs that usually makes the NFTs themselves less valuable and less exclusive?
Yeah, on this thing that this is so if you think about like the usual like supply and demand relationship, yeah, it makes sense. But whenever you think about the mutant apes, whenever you think about uh, Clonex, for example, and other projects that are above the 10K mark and sometimes by a huge margin, the thing that you realize is that no one is really thinking about the supply for mutant. No one is really actively thinking like, oh, mutant is not very exclusive compared to this other project. No one is saying like Clonex is not very exclusive compared to this other thing. No one is even saying that like Asuki is less exclusive than Dape, for example. Now that like the supply has been moved from almost 9,000 to 2.4, it doesn't feel more exclusive. The thing that makes it exclusive is that so many people want to join it, and the number is low compared to the amount of people that want to join it, and that's where the exclusivity comes from. So, and there is a very interesting. I think I did cover that in like a whitelist MAA, and there are like very interesting dynamics around pricing that are a lot more impactful than the supply. And so, if you think about it, the price that a lot of collections are putting out there is the equivalent to like the entry bar to joining a specific social network, right? Imagine that like that buying into an NFT is the equivalent of the price that you have to pay to get onto Facebook at the creation of Facebook, right? And because like NFT projects are more or less social networks in a sense, right? They're kind of like social graphs, and like you build a network with other people. They have like their own subgraphs, sub communities, and like everyone is kind of like part of the same thing, but still with a big weight, a big emphasis towards like sub communities that are very close to you. And so, if you think about it that way, the interesting part is that buying an NFT is equivalent to kind of like paying a certain amount to join Facebook at the beginning of Facebook. And so, and the interesting part about like social networks is that there are things that we call network effects, where the value that you get out of something, a product, out of a network, joining a social network, for example, or owning an NFT, is as powerful as the number of people around you who joined it, right? So the value of joining Facebook when you are the first person is a lot lower than joining Facebook when a lot of people around you, most of the people that you know, are on Facebook. The value of being on Instagram now is 1,000 times higher than like being the first one on Instagram. You can flex it, but you can flex it to anyone because like no one is part of the network. You can't do anything about it. And so if you think about like buying an NFT as the price to pay to join a network, it doesn't make a lot of sense for the price to be higher, right? Like they're like having 13,000 people on Facebook is not like a hard thing to do, but the thing that is hard to do is convincing enough people that there is value in it. And so this is why the price of a collection is 1,000 times more important than the supply, because the supply doesn't mean anything now that like probably I would say like probably like 50 million people at least in the world want to join Bored Ape, because there are just like so many people that are part of this network, and maybe like around them, or like someone they know like as a celebrity or whatever. It's the network effects are already started, right? And so now it's cool to be part of this network. Now you have like a huge demand for it, and the exclusivity is basically a ratio between the supply and the total amount of people who want to join this community. And so this is basically the reason why we were comfortable having like a bigger supply, because we want to create this kind of like more like this deeper social network where not only you have a rebel, but you can actually display art from other NFTs. You can display you belonging to various communities, right? It could be, I'm just a spitting example, but basically like imagine if you had like a call-in patch, or if you had like a, people will know that like you're a VC2, maybe you're part of like the rap battle scene in Rebels, maybe you're like a VC1, VC7, maybe you're Fright Gang, maybe you're, you know, some other things, and now you're starting to have, or you could be like a board ape, you know, on Rebels. But like we want to allow enough space for all these subcommunities to get created, and that requires like a bigger supply, right? Because if you end up having only 5 people of like each community, this is probably not enough for them to find value. So we wanted like a bigger supply, but reduced the entry price point so that more people get to try it and start kicking off the network effects that are not only linear. So that means like just like a straight, you know, basically like a straight line on a graph, but it's actually exponential. So because every time that you get value, every time that like you join, you bring value to many people around you, then it's kind of like a exponential growth instead of like linear. So yeah, the price was a lot lower to allow more people to come, more people to enjoy, more people to be part of the community, and more people to kick off the network effects to create an amazing social community.
Very nice. As you were talking about the customization, Rebels want to know how many NFTs will they be able to show off on Rebel as a patches?
As purchase, sorry, you mean like
like how many patches they can do on one Rebel?
Oh, okay. How many? I think that it's gonna be probably 3, maybe 4. I don't know, because like you know, you don't want to be like a postcards with like 40,000 stamps on it, right? You still want it to look like very good, and so I believe that it's probably gonna be 3 or 4 at any given time at first. And the reason for this is that the customization, the V1 of the customization, has like it's gonna be, you know, patches, and so until we figure out like the best way to customize areas, texture, basically like all the objects, etc., at like the texture level, which needs like a lot more like 3D rendering, etc. It's gonna be we want to still limit the amount of patches. So I think that is gonna be 3.
Yeah, and
but still, again, like I need to confirm. I don't want it to be like a fully committal, but I think that it's gonna be 3.
Yeah. And one more thing, how will you be managing cybersecurity since we'll be doing a huge supply during the priming phase?
Are we talking about security of the minting process, or are we talking about? Okay, so for the minting process, there are like many ways to do it. The first one is there are 2 folds to it. The first one is the website and like a front end and back end infrastructure. So this is front end is what's displayed to the user and what runs kind of like on the browser of the people. Back end is what runs in our own infrastructure in the cloud, basically. And then there's gonna be the contract itself. And so let's start with the contract. So for like the contract, there are a few things that we're planning to do. So the first one is that we're obviously like you know, we both like wrote like a lot of code with Stefan, and like we basically like have a very good background in engineering. So it's this is just picking the best like the best engineers is important. I myself run, you know, my day job is actually chief security officer at A16Z Crypto. So one of the major investment firms, and I actually run a team with smart contract security experts that basically for a living do audits. Basically, like they're among the best auditors in the space of smart contracts. So definitely gonna have like people in my team review it several times. Probably publish like reports and kind of like help us in the process. So we're gonna have that. Probably gonna have additional set of eyes from other people in the community that I know well in the Ethereum protocol security community that are gonna like have additional eyes. So that's kind of like the protocol side of things, and by protocol I mean smart contract. So that's like that's the most important for me. There will be things that are not only good for the security of you or us, but there will be things that are very important for your safety as holders. What we basically want to add is something called provenance hash with a randomized index. And so a provenance hash is a technique that allows you, it is basically us writing a proof before the mint that the tokens, the NFTs, are actually in a specific order, and they're ordered in a specific way, and they will be distributed basically to you as mentors, and we want to make sure that like that we haven't changed basically the content of the NFTs either during the mint or after the mint. So basically, it's gonna be almost like a snapshot, a proof, a snapshot of the NFTs before the mint that you can verify after the mint to make sure that like we didn't change the attributes, we didn't change like the pictures, we didn't change like all the things after the reveal or during the mint or at any given time. And the reason why I'm saying that is that there are people, for example, like Board Bunny. I don't know if people here know Board Bunny, but like it's an NFT project with like whatever some celebrities that were making promotion for it, etc. And what they did was actually getting the NFTs after the purchase and during the reveal time. They actually changed the metadata from some of them into legendary. They changed the metadata of some of them to celebrities. And so you don't want project creators to mess with the NFTs. Once they're created, they're created. If there is like attribution to be done, it needs to be explicit at the smart contract layer so that anyone can see it. So what we're going to implement is basically a system for you to verify that we're not changing the NFTs, we're not changing the attributes, we're not changing the metadata, we're not messing with the attribution. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we're also going to have a system that proves that we randomize basically the attribution of the NFTs, and that the NFTs are attributed randomly to everyone, and there is nothing that like I or anyone else in the project can do to tamper with this. So there's going to be both proving that there is like full integrity over the NFTs, and that there is full randomization, that there is integrity in the allocation and minting process. So these are like the most important thing. And on the back end, we're obviously going to add like a lot of security against, a denial of service. This is when like a lot of people are trying to make requests to make us go down and basically, make our infrastructure available or like basically kill the minting process. And so for this, we have like a lot of experience in handling that because, we worked at Facebook where, as you can imagine, it's many billions of requests per second that are being emitted. So we have like the right background in preventing that. We have the right background in preventing botting. We have like a kind of like a pretty good sense of all the techniques to prevent botting, and we do actually advise on them on our work day. So that's like a lot of things that we do even on our day job.
Also about one of the tweets you tweeted, I think yesterday, You thought Rebels Leap Roll members had only a free mint. They were just curious about that tweet you made.
Yeah, I don't know if I should say it because I don't know, our whitelist people are not very active. I'm not seeing well, actually I'm seeing a few folks, Otis, Matus, etc. Okay, we might do a reveal of information. So the way we've been thinking about it is that, again, we want you to have a free mint. We want you to, for us to hand over something to you that you have all the incentive in the world to sell, but we also want you to understand that you can grow it into something far more valuable than what you could do today, tomorrow, in a week. That's the important thing. But we don't want to stop there. We want to go beyond that and really share our it's a sincere thank you to you, that all of you, that you're really helping us at the most critical aspect of our project, which is the community building, and at the most critical time, because it is going to be the most important time of our project. It's going to be now. And so we would like for every single person who will get the lead role to also receive a free patch that you will be able to use on your Rebel. And it will be unique. There will never be more of them. It is only going to be the lead role pre-mint, and you will have access to this unique patch. And obviously, you'll be able to do whatever you want with it. You can sell it, you can flex it, but we want you to have this free patch that is going to be unique, and prove and show to the world the amazing impact that you've had at the very beginning of this amazing journey. So that's a big thank you. You'll get free mint and a free patch, a free patch to mint for your Rebel.
Will there be any involvement of A16Z with Rebels?
Not for now. Not for now. The team has been extremely helpful with me, advising me, helping with, things for visibility, just because they were my kids and friends, right? But for now, it's two very separate things.
Will the patches be unique or standard patch for certain projects?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Will the patches be unique or standard patch for a certain project?
Oh, sorry. I'm getting a bit of issue, trouble during here. Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to increase the audio. Can you repeat? I'm sorry, man.
Sorry, no. Will the patches be unique or a standard patch for a certain project?
Standard patch, you said, or is
Yeah, standard patch.
Okay. So the patches there are going to be two types of patches, three. So right now there is going to be the Rebels created, the ones created by NetLabs, which is us, or dedicated for Rebels, and there is going to be a set of patches, and there will be patches with more or less rarity to them. But these are going to be collections that we're going to release in the future. More information on that. And the for other NFT projects, it's basically us creating NFTs for every single collection that we are going to approve. I believe that we really want to at some point to support anything that is verified by OpenSea. Obviously, it takes a lot of time because we have to do right now we have a mix of basically AI and Photoshop to understand exactly the contours of a for PFP projects. There's going to be like a specific thing that you want to represent, maybe like a CryptoPunk, maybe a Bored Ape, but some of them might be a lot harder to show. For example, like CloneX, some of them have things in the background. Azuki, some of the things that make Azuki valuable might be in the background as well, with like Thunder, etc. So we also want to make sure that like we represent everything in the NFT that makes it valuable, right? So we're basically gonna see how the process is probably gonna start with 10, 20, 30 collections, something like this. And PFP and non-PFP, because I want everyone to understand that like right now a lot of people here think about PFP, but a lot of collectors and a lot of people who are really spending we all spend a lot of time in NFTs, but some people who may have like a pretty big portfolio of NFTs actually do value a lot the non-PFP project as well, right? When you think about Fidenza and other more abstract generative art, for example, maybe some one-of-ones, that we would be comfortable doing as like a kind of like a either in collaboration or something like this. But like ultimately being able to represent non-PFP VFriends, for example, might be like a non-PFP really set of NFTs that people want to show, right? That they're part of VFriend, but maybe that like the VFriend NFT is not something that they want to display, as the main PFP, right? And so just allowing to have people like these NFTs also like being supported is going to be super important. I know that like the mods team is gonna harass me to add especially Flora to add a hate beast. Not gonna lie, right, Flora?
Hate
I would
beast.
assume. I guess I won't really have a choice there, but on other projects we're gonna. I'm just kidding, but like obviously we want to support also what the community holds, so long as it's kind of like verified by OpenSea, that contract is open. We want to make sure that like the best projects get a chance to be expressed onto Rebels. So that's something that is important. But we're also gonna release our own pack. It's gonna be pretty dope, trust me.
What are you guys doing for the charity part? Any percent from the mints goes to a charity for the betterment of this world?
Just to comment
Right.
really quick on what you said, I'm really looking forward to have my Hape on Rebel. Especially if I get like a green one, it's gonna be so cute. And I believe Talionic as well. He wants it so bad.
Yeah, totally. I can't wait for that.
I'm
I
kind
know
of
he's
sad.
like, oh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to buy back into hate if that's the case.
yes, you should. But the idea overall, like of having multiple NFTs, something that we see for the first time in the NFT space. So it's really great that we're working on something new. And yeah, so it's gonna be great. And I believe in the team. And Nas is like his experience in just the technical side is something great. We also have Sass, right? They're both like really amazing when it comes to coding, when it comes to like technical side, and I have no doubts regarding that. So if you have your NFTs, just keep them. We're gonna have them on the badges.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. The thing that is so interesting actually that you just said is that like it's something that I'm looking forward to is basically a lot of people are gonna basically try to go for the Rebels that they prefer, and then when they're gonna try the customization, they're like, actually my hate beast, for example, is gonna look better with like this other color. And I'm actually very interested to see like how people like pick their Rebels based on the NFTs, the other NFTs that they have that they want to flex on them. This is something that like we've never seen before.
Yeah, that's what I said. And also, I have a question. Is there any chance maybe we'll be able to change like our Rebels customs, like outfits?
Outfits or colors?
Well,
Yeah.
colors maybe, and the outfit is gonna be a bit hard, but let's say just colors or what or the outfit if possible. We never know.
That's a great question. And so I think that the outfit as a whole is something that is nearly impossible. And the reason for this is that, as I was saying before, we actually, because it's 3D and you have, kind of like collision problems between various assets, the algorithm knows which, for example, one thing that like we saw with Hey Beast was collision problems, right? Like some things that were like running into other assets because like the generative algorithm didn't have the information of like this thing goes with this thing, right? And in the case where this thing is present, add a hole into this one or something like this, right? And so if you start modifying one by one the assets, it actually messes the entire collision, like anti-collision system from the algorithm. And so I think that's going to be more, if it happens, it's going to be either color or pattern based. It could stay the same color, but it could have like potentially like additional patterns onto it, right? Like we're trying to see. But this is actually super hard to do, and the reason for this is that this is what like we're never like promising to stuff that like we don't know exactly how to do. Like we're trying to see what it would look like from like a technical standpoint. And the reason for this is that we have like a lot of matter, because we're like so detailed on the way light and colors are reflected onto each other, and we have some textures that are like metal based or like really reflecty. You basically, when you change one color, you actually impact all the other objects around it, right? Due to basically like a light reflection. And so this is why this is super important for us to understand exactly what would like 3D rendering at scale look like, because it's basically giving the opportunity for everyone to do like to request from us like a full 3D re-rendering of the scene pretty much, with the full rebel and kind of like recomputing all the light reflection on all the other assets. And this is actually pretty hard to do. So we're trying to see like, does it make sense? Can we pre-compute them? Maybe like we do that like ahead of time, and like we already have like the computation done at the time of people requesting. These are things that like we need to scope out. But like I would love to have something like this, and more crazier, right? Like I would love to have stuff that is way more crazy than just like changing the colors. It might be, applying art onto certain assets, etc. They're crazy things that we can do, but the technology to get there is very complex, and so we need to spend a lot of time on the engineering side, first figuring out the first customization step with the patches. We try to make it the best. We can make it work the best. We make the experience seamless. As soon as we were sure about like everyone liking what they have, we're gonna go to the next step, and the next step is gonna be probably that.
What are you guys doing about the charity part? Any percent of the mint goes to charity for the betterment of this world?
Yeah, so this is a good question. I think that like for now we're not gonna be able to basically like have too many funds spend on anything other than the repaying all the additional costs that we have had, because as you can imagine, we had basically basically like at least on the design side, like having close to 15 people that have been working without getting paid for 5 to 6 months now. So we have like a lot of operational costs, all the 3D rendering to repay, and also building the engineering team and design team to tackle like patches, integration of other NFT projects, as I was saying, and also like basically like all the engineering team required to build like just like a strong team that can tackle the hard tech problems. So I think that like this is probably gonna be, if this happens, this is probably gonna be like as a follow up, not at launch, especially because we've decided to go lower in terms of price and to raise less funds initially, to make sure that like more people in the community had access to them with the 10% free mint plus over 50% of the 45% of the people are also going to have it for like 0.08. So like it's, engineers cost a lot of money so to hire, as everyone know. So really top tier. So it's just going to be like a lot. Most of the funds are going to go basically in like building the team. and repaying the operational cost that we've had so far. I want to be very transparent about it on this, by the way. I think that this is very important. We see like oftentimes like people not being very transparent about like where the funds go, right? And so like just want to make it clear that like we've had like a lot of expenses over the last 6 months, and we're gonna have a lot of expenses on engineering and design, obviously, over the years to come. So that's it.
Also, why did you choose to make the whitelist 7K instead of allowing whitelisted members to mint 2?
I'm not sure I understand the question. So there is like the part which is why 7K for the whitelist, and what is the other one?
It was why that the whitelisted members could mint 2 instead of just 1.
Yeah. So the thing that we actually had this conversation with all of you in the mods team recently. It's like the way I think about it is that we want to allocate for the best scenario up to basically like 7,000 minus the lead pro. If these are not if we can get to that many whitelists, which can happen, obviously, we can obviously do. So I think that like the reason why people didn't want to have like 2, which I 100% agree with, is the fact that you don't want people to know that they have 2 free mints at the time, or be certain that they're going to have 2 free mints at the time where the public sales starts, right? Because like obviously if you have one, you can flip the other, and then it can drag like a full price down, and basically be like a bit unfair in the system. And so the way we want to think about it is the NFTs that are not that haven't been basically like claimed, quote unquote, by whitelist, just because like there are not enough whitelist members. We can obviously adapt the mint structure based on that, right? Like we could make like a raffle after the public sale. We could add them to the public sale. We could, we can do so many things, right? We could make them like for raffle just for the lead members. Like we could do like a lot of things before, during, after the public sale. We can restructure the sale accordingly. I don't want people to kind of like focus on this, because this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is build with us, help us onboard more people, help us motivate other people to build with us, right? It's not just about you. It's also about like all the people around you that come to the server thinking like, oh, this is another project. This is another, this is like another location to get like a whitelist on, and so on. This is not that. We want to really build like a long-lasting ecosystem, and this is the responsibility of every single person here, to motivate people, to get them to understand the ethos, the culture, the DNA of this community, this project, to provide to not only do that, but also give me feedback, give us feedback on what we should improve as a community. What should we do all together to make things better, right? Whether it's like specific type of events, maybe that's like personal growth. Maybe there are like many things, that like we haven't thought about, but and you're the most qualified maybe for this thing, and we want to enable you. So this is the most important thing. Focus on this, and we'll always make sure that the people who do the most efforts are rewarded accordingly. I'm hoping that like you saw the signs of this, right? From like our announcements, whether that's like for whitelist being at a lower price, whether that's for lead having free mint, a free patch to show their amazing role in this community, but also, like go further and help more people be part of this journey. It's going to be very important. That's the thing that you focus on. The mint structure, we can adjust it accordingly in a way that make it fair for the whitelist, the lead, the public out there, and also like ensure that like the floor price is not basically demolished. I don't like talking about floor price, but I know that this is something that is a big concern for a lot of people. So I'm just like talking about it specifically now, and probably won't talk about it until this question comes up again. But there are so many things that the technology is here basically to solve the problems that we have as communities and humans, not the other way around.
Farther to understand what you meant when you said on Twitter that Rebels is building an ecosystem. When I think that if that word, I think that the Apple ecosystem where you have multiple products that coexist, how would Rebels compare?
Exactly. So on this, I'm gonna wait a little bit before like we finalize entirely like our strategy around like more longer term, and get closer to getting validation from like most prominent people in the space on like whether this is the right strategy or not, and like are all the details, like do all the make sense, and we'll share more. But like trust me that the way I think about it is ecosystem. It's Ethereum style, building really like an amazing core, and community and infrastructure to enable more people around us, whether that's like NFT holders, whether that's creators, whether that's brands in Web3, whether that's brands outside of Web3. And this is the type of the size of the vision that I have for our project. Obviously, need to work very hard and nail the plan first. And so this is things that are being actively worked on the strategy side behind the scenes.
If our aim is to launch the project in early April, don't you think that 5K more whitelist is rushing it?
Again, this is the thing that I was saying before. It's so first and foremost, there's going to be like 500 people who 500 people who got a Pope. There's going to be like more people. We're going to ramp up as well. And I feel like on Twitter we're actually a bit weak. I don't know with the mod team thing, but I feel like we're not as present on Twitter as we should as a community. I feel like that's probably due to kind of like our cryptic vibe, but like we need at the same time to be to enable the community on Twitter as well. So yeah, I think that like we're gonna have like a few ways. Wait, go ahead, please.
Yeah, by mentioning Twitter, I want to know what people think about having like a challenge or like wearing custom rebels thing, like without showing their faces, etc., and have like kind of challenge on Twitter. So it's like it's like a way to bring up like the rebels together and engage on Twitter more. So you guys let me know like in the channel if you like the idea and we can arrange something, right, Nas?
Yeah, I mean, we
That
already
sounds
have
great.
this challenge organized, but like only for the internal community. Right now, if you go in Discord event, we have a challenge based on that. But I also agree. Yeah, you can see. It's really cool, and since like it's the point of being a rebel, you don't have to show your face. You can totally be anonymous, so it's really cool. I personally participated to it, and I found it very funny. So
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a really good idea. It just like it kind of brings up this good vibe, of the community on Twitter, and like have our coexistence there and our presence. So it's gonna be fun to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the details of it, like maybe
All right.
privately, and then
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Nas.
I was about to post a picture on Twitter of my dog being bored to death with this AMA while I'm actually enjoying it. 1 second. Yeah, no, I think that is a great idea. I would love to do that. Please, people, react in the general channel. What you think about it? I think that and I would love to. Because it is like a harder to do on Twitter, and I'm actually like always like listening to people who know best. I would love if like the you you, Flora, or someone else in the mod team could kind of like lead these efforts and kind of like make it maybe like take feedback from the community and kind of like propose a set of events that we could do even on like a recurring basis. I would love to have that, and obviously I want our amazing mod team to be like more on the social network. So I would like for them to lead the effort jointly with us. I think that would be awesome.
Let's go.
Are there other things, by the way, Flora, that like you've seen be like great ways to bring communities together on Twitter?
Well, that's like one of them. We also have Rebel, right? We can also create such challenge of like imaginary ones are doing it right now, like going for a walk, or we can be more creative in a certain way. I think it's we can open like a thread or a channel for to discuss this, even a forum for like the members to vote for kind of activities we want to do, and we can go from there.
That sounds great. I love that.
Can we also start a cult?
Wow, Azuke is worrying me out. I think he's starting a NAS cult, and I have no part in this. And I don't know what this thing is gonna get to. Step Glass may want to form his competitive one as well. Just saying.
VC2 fallen game. Never forget.
VC1.
VC1.
How are you going to do the public sale? Is it going to be through Dutch auction or another way?
Yeah, I don't know about that yet. I think that like it's really. I think that we need to prove ourselves a bit more before being to decide on like either, and even like the mint price. I think that we need to understand exactly, what is kind of like the exact funding that we would need. What is our community or extended community comfortable with, and even understand the market itself. So we really wanted for whitelisted folks and lead folks to know early the either prices or like terms when it's free, obviously. But like for the public, I think that we're gonna take a bit more time to like what we should be doing. And don't even ask about it. The public should even the sale shouldn't even concern you. Go for the whitelist. Let's do it.
By the way, someone asked if we're gonna have a merch. Rebels merch?
Physical merch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I would wear that 24/7.
Same.
I'm not yeah, it'd be dope. Wow, I want the balaclava. I want like so many like of the masks. I want the big puffy coat. Wow, there's many things that I want.
Yeah.
I think we should collab with Balenciaga.
Yeah, like
yeah,
I think that like
we
if
can
we
collab with them.
I think that like if we do merch, I think that we want to kick off with something that is gonna wow everyone. So I don't think that like merch is gonna happen until we have something that is miles ahead of everyone else, or at least like not like a official merch. I don't think that we're gonna do that before like having everyone be just be like extra surprised by like a collab partnership with a brand or an artist, TBD.
Oh.
How are you going to make Rebels more known on the Twitter space and NFT space through marketing?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I think that like there is a trade-off where we want people to know about us, but we don't want people to be overly hyped about us. And the reason for this, when you're see like being before a mint is the equivalent of being pre-product. It's basically like Apple hasn't released an iPhone yet. They just show like a few pictures and maybe a video, and then having like all the work left to do of like creating like them scale and like handling like all the customer support and handling apps and blah blah blah. Like for me, it's exactly how I see it. Like I don't want us to be overly hyped up before we launch. And so I think that a lot of things that I would like to do is probably like MAA based and Twitter space based with other communities in the space. Maybe engineering, just like participating to, basically like contributing to some like GitHub repos with like some other community for like tech side. On the community side, yeah, like joining Twitter Spaces, maybe doing like AMAs with founders of other bigger projects that are either pre-mint, post-mint, way post-mint. Just having like a kind of like all the communities come together and kind of like help each other grow with pieces of advice, reflecting on what is the best strategy, how to avoid like all the pitfalls, to educate communities on. I think that like these are things that I prefer to do, and also maybe like MAAs on even like alpha groups. I came to realize I joined this my friend, I don't know, for those who know him, Maison Ghost. I've been talking with him about like community building, just like one-on-one for like close to 3 months or something like this. Always like appreciated his thoughts and advice and vision. So I think that it kind of like opened my eyes that like I'm actually like there are many people in like alpha groups that are actually great community members and actually not doing it just for the whitelist, but actually trying to find and help grow the best communities out there. And so I'm probably also gonna ramp up on kind of like MAA with alpha groups. Again, it's not gonna look like the traditional like whitelist giveaway and collabs, etc. It's gonna be like a lot more bespoke, a lot more MAA based and just like sharing IDs all together, growing and yeah. Was
Are
it the
you
last question?
planning? No,
Oh,
no, no.
okay.
Are you planning any drops of new collections for holders in the future?
Yeah, so as I said, there's gonna be patches for now. If they're like follow up like other drops from like from scratch, I think that it yeah, I don't want to reveal too much, but like have some ideas on follow up things that I want to make sure that it doesn't take any value away from the current rebels, and like I want to be extremely careful about it. So I have like a lot of ideas, but the question is like things that go onto the customization and that are so obviously as I said patches, but things that are like full blown PFPs. It's it's gonna depend on like what we want to go through customization or things that cannot be through customization, and so for that we'll discuss it.
What are your plans after the mint for the project?
Again, as I said, it's right now it's the it's gonna be the same. The mint is for me the mint is just like giving access to people to start testing, like basically accessing the product, testing it. We're gonna improve the product over time. We're gonna continue building it. We're already building it, and so for me, it doesn't change much. It's gonna be the same. Building community, building the product, building relationships with amazing creators, building relationship with other projects with brands. Just you know, having basically doing everything that you know, continuing micro. Everyone is going to continue their work on the engineering side and everything.
Some want to know. I would like to ask estimate how long will it take to reveal Rebel after mint?
Oh, basically the time between the mint and the reveal. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't thought too much about it. I guess like the standard tends to be like a week. It might be maybe shorter. I don't know. I need to think about it. I haven't thought about it yet. Do you have thoughts on this? Do people here have thoughts?
I mean, like, I will be super excited when I will mint my my rebels. So I would say the sooner the better. But
Same here. Yeah, but project-wise, I don't know. It's the perfect solution for it.
Yeah, we're also thinking about like the exact structure of it. You know, it could be a mechanism where you manually claim it. It might be something where like it's already there and it gets just like revealed to the fact. So we're just like finalizing that as well, like the exact mechanism as well, which might have some impact, right? Like it's if you claim it manually, maybe through a certain set of steps or something cool, then it might be like a bit more exciting and get like deserve like a little bit more time to get to get like all the testing for the experience, right? It's getting windy.
Will Rebels ever be collabing with other projects? If not, why?
Collab has very different meaning for me and the rest of the Twitter sphere right now. So can you specify whether that's like whitelist collabs, whether that's like community, engineering, artistic?
With other NFT projects.
No, I know, but like, is it like community based? Because I think that like this, I kind of like touched on it with like, this is like, if we're talking about community, we want to start doing that with more like Twitter space based and MAAs, or with, you know, as I was saying, like on the artistic side, having maybe, you know, some things that can be potentially created even by other NFT projects that are like specifically hatches for Rebels. That it could be like the that like some projects want to release like a specific version where every single person of their NFT of their NFT community gets to claim like the equivalent of their NFT in like a hatch friendly format, something like that. You know, like I'm super excited to kick off like conversations around these, basically like efforts that are cross community for their project and our project to work well together. From like an artistic standpoint, there are like other things that I do have in mind that I don't want to share yet. And on the engineering side, again, I would love to have collaboration at the engineering level and building kind of like standards around customization in general, whether that's off-chain, on-chain, hybrid. I think is something that I really want to do. So maybe we're trying to see like what it would look like and starting to reach out to other projects basically on this. Okay, come in.
How many hours would the mint last? Days?
I don't know yet. I'm not for me, by the way, just for everyone's awareness, I'm a strong believer that the time to mint is really who cares. Whether the thing takes a minute, whether the thing takes a week, I really don't care much. What I don't think anyone knows here how much time CryptoPunk board date mint has taken. Doodle. But I firmly, everyone knows that they're amazing projects with very strong teams behind them, very strong communities, and this is what matters, right? I think a great example of this is Crypto Coven. I am personally like a big fan of like their community. I've been a fan from like day one from the mint. The mint took 14 days. It took a lot of time for them to mint, and then they just like slowly but surely to be like a very, very strong project. And so for me, this is something that like I personally like don't care much about. The thing that I would say is that we're never gonna do something like what I've seen Dave do, which is lowering the supply in order to basically claim this kind of like a sold out argument. This is something that for me doesn't work. What I think should be done instead is if people are not willing to buy your product because of, for some reason, the issue is not the supply. The issue is the price. And this is the thing that I was discussing earlier. You're basically putting like an entry bar to your social network, which is like unreasonably high. And this is the reason why people are not going to join like your social network. If you keep lowering the price, people are going to, at some point, some people are going to find it like, okay, this is the right value for me to even try to get in it, right? And this is how I've been thinking about it. So the way things should be done, in my opinion, is lowering the price and never lowering the supply, and waiting. Some things just take time. Like Facebook was not built in 1 second. Apple was not built in 1 second, and now like things are, it's a lot of things in this space which were not exclusive at the time are not now extremely exclusive because the number of people who want to join basically the circle has increased steadily. So that's the most important for me.
How did you choose your team, and how did you choose the mod?
So on the team, I wanted to do something on my own. Stefan. So first and foremost, like I know Stefan from way back. He was my mentor in engineering school. Sorry for the helicopters. I don't know. Do you hear like a lot of background noise behind me?
No, none. No, you could.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so I've known Stefan for 10 years. I've lived with him for quite a long time too. Pumpy, come here. No. I always knew that at some point I would like to do like a project with him. Probably like originally they had like ideas around like smaller size side projects, but like kind of like had the idea that we wanted to do something kind of like forever. He's the reason why I moved to the United States from France, and kind of like helped me get my job at Apple, and then Facebook. And Alex is the best friend of the brother of our best friend with Stefan. So like we've seen him like many times. Also have been like his roommate for a few weeks. See him at like weddings, etc. So like we were all like kind of like pretty close. And like Alex is an entrepreneur. He has like his own company. And so, but he also wanted to do something in like the NFT space because he was interested in like kind of like learning more. He did like quite a bit of design for like clothing, etc. So he's this is the moment at some point like I wanted to do something with Stefan. I didn't know that like Alex wanted to do something. Alex wanted to do something with Stefan, and didn't know that I wanted to do something. And then at some point we just like the thing kind of like crossed through Stefan, and so we ended up doing something. And we had like the right, I would say, kind of like diverse background across kind of like design skills, with Alex, engineering across myself and more like communication, marketing, and kind of like connections all around the crypto space with myself and through my multiple years in the space and day job. And so that's kind of like how it came to be. And yeah, that's pretty much the idea. On the mod side, Scully can remember the chaos that it was on like the day one. Scully, if you want to talk about it, but like we were not prepared at all. We thought that it would be. We basically like I made the announcement in a super layer Twitter space. I thought that there would be like the announcement with like 500 posts that would give like a whitelist at the time, and we thought that it would be just like 100 people with Alex and Stefan and myself just like chilling in Discord, and we saw like waves of like thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and so I saw people. I had no. It was my first time like on Discord, and I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and basically, so Siluth was helping kind of like handle a lot of things. And Silu, by the way, that like we met because like I went on many discords trying to find like the person who was like super knowledgeable on like all things Discord. Was like the person that like that I wanted to have in the team, and like we got to work with him. And on the mods team, it was really like the people who were helping organize all this chaos, people who were like helping us at a time where we had no idea what we were doing really, and like what to create, what channel to create, helping people kind of like on board super fast, etc. Like Scully, like a few other people in the team, was kind of like a first wave, and then it's kind of like mods and us seeing like the best people in the best people in the community, and the ones that are like really role models for everyone else. We were reaching out and saying like in asking if they would like to join the team. It's all about like having mods that are themselves role models for me, for everyone else in the community, and lead by example instead of leading by the stick pretty much. And if people here in the team want to participate, that'd be awesome, because like it's kind of like my perception.
Just like a little more, but yeah, the first day was pretty hectic. I remember Sealuth just pinging me in a private channel and telling me if I wanted to be mod. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take the job. But yeah, it was pretty hectic. But the thing that I really liked, I know it's kind of talked about, was they weren't very aware or didn't know much about Discord. So one thing I really liked is that they listened to the mods. They put aside their pride, and like they genuinely listened to everything we had to say. And they took it into account, and then they made a decision, and I think it was for the better.
By the way, Sophie, I didn't see that you were here. I'm sorry I didn't mention you, but yeah, Sophie came along a little bit later in the journey, but still like extremely early to help handle the chaos, because we actually were missing a critical component in our team, which was kind of like higher level strategy around community building. Like you know me, for like most people in the audience, like I'm always going to be around answering questions and so on, but I don't have, I feel like the skills, at least yet, on building a kind of like strategizing around the community building on Discord and on Twitter. And so it was very important for us to have join us and kind of like lead us on management of efforts, prioritization, understanding like what makes more sense than the rest, aggregation of feedback, and also understanding like root causes of issues whenever they're shared. Sophie, if you want to share a bit more. I know that like you were connected to Stefan, but yeah, that's my view on it.
Yeah, thank you, and it's great to be here. This project has always been, super exciting since I joined, and of course even like before. And I've loved like working with all the mods here on the stage, and also interacting with the community. I think everyone has really good insights on like what makes Rebels special, and there's so many ideas for improvements. So it's just been really great taking all those into consideration and making Rebels the best community that it can be.
I think it's very interesting because I feel like I don't know how all of you feel in the on stage, but like we really have like a very diverse team in terms of like background, in terms of opinions, in terms of well, obviously geographic location and like culturally. I'm super excited about it. I love that like one of the things that when you join Facebook, like obviously there is some like not propaganda but just like a lot of like promotion for the company that like you have to go through. It's kind of like the same and playing like very in depth like the culture and the history of the company, etc. But one thing that has been like super important for the company is like Facebook considers that it cannot make a product that caters to everyone in the world, which is like all the communities, all the languages, all the cultures, all the ideas, all the opinions, without having like I would say like a reduced sample of it and a scaled down version of it in the company itself. Which is why like diversity is so important, because if you have like people coming from like a certain community that is like presented in in the case of Facebook with employees that bring IDs, but in our case with like, for example, like mods team or founding team, then this is like really, it becomes very problematic for this community, because they will not feel represented. They will not feel like their opinion, their views are heard and understood. And so it's very important to me that like we have like this kind of like diversity in the team. I'm super excited about it. I don't know if other people want to chime in on this. I feel like it's this is something that I'm excited. If we feel like we can do better, please say it. I think that like we should all build together again. So like please share some thoughts that you have on kind of like position building of the mods team. If you feel like there are things that are great, if you feel that there are things that can be done better, I would love to hear them.
Yeah, so I think the mod team is very diverse. There are many different like factors that go into it. So we have some mods that have been mods from many other projects before. We have some mods that are first time mods, and I think like what they have in common is how they're excited about the project and they care deeply about the people that are here. So like those are some of the things that like stand out to me. Like if one of the existing mods on the stage want to comment on this, that would also be great.
Yeah, so the thing is with mods is we also come from the community first, so we belong to the community before we are mods, and that's what makes us share the same vision as everyone else does. And as Sylvie mentioned, we are pretty excited about what's coming. It's like a journey that haven't started yet. It's gonna be huge in the NFT space, since we're seeing the utility, or like the idea for the first time, and we're very bullish. I mean, personally, I am about the team, so I think that's my comment. Is there anyone else?
Me personally, yeah, I want to say it's the first time for me being a mod, and when I first started, I was just a regular member of the Rebels, and the team then reached out to me and asked me if I would be a mod, and I was so excited, but it was like I didn't know much things about being a mod, so it was like very first experience for me. So, but everyone that treated me in the times where I knew almost nothing about being a mod, was really exciting for me. Like everyone was such a great mentor to me. I'm so thankful of the team, and like everyone treats you like a real friend, and no one makes you feel that you're less of something. So that was really exciting for me to feel the support from the team. That means a lot. That makes me even more motivated to do more to the community. So it's kind of circle. So thank you all so much for being so welcoming.
Thanks, Bobby. Bobby is also like our Georgian queen. So thanks for that. You are. And that's what she said. She has been a member too, and we all have been members. And Sophie's doing a really good job by picking like the mods. Like we have a few days ago, I think we added a new mod for the Portuguese community, and we're trying to be very pickable when it comes to not just the modding team, but we want to be part of the community first and hear you guys, hear what you're saying, what you have to say, hear your ideas, because we're trying to build, and this is like something that we all gonna walk on. It's like our journey to be in. So thanks for the team, and thanks especially for Sylvie for handling everything regarding like the modding team. She's doing a really good job and really amazing. She's incredible. So thank you.
I wish there were like Twitter space like reactions. I feel like I cannot throw hearts and claps. I feel frustrated.
That's why you have to look in the general chat.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Throw an eye on the chat. It's literally going crazy. But how about we literally? Well, it's a good idea. Why not? Like we can have a Twitter space sometime. It would be amazing just to hand like that's also gonna be amazing for like calling out our rebels on Twitter, and I think this is gonna be like a reveal party where we all have our profile pictures as rebels, and it's gonna be insane.
That is gonna be. I think that's gonna break. We're gonna break Twitter again. I feel like it's gonna be our second time breaking Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. I want to ask Izuki or whoever. I think it's Mr. Trick. Whoever has an eye on the question chat. I hope we didn't miss anything. Someone tagged me on Twitter saying, "Nas, we want merch." So I think you should consider that.
Actually, Flora, there's a question directed to you. Let me take it.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
that's it. It's alright.
Yeah, we all want
From
Flora made church merch. Sorry, we want Flora to make all the merch ever. She always and we want a picture of your puppy on it. That's for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure to take pictures with my merch in very, very cool places with very good views. We're gonna break the Twitter on that.
Yeah, we know that one.
Oh yeah, but I want to be Flora when I grow up.
Yeah, I mean, right?
Yeah, Nas
I
as
really
well.
do.
So, Stab is can you like give me the question if you've seen it?
Yeah, I'll read it out then. So,
By the way, I'm
considering
gonna
the
have
creator.
to. One second, stop. I just wanted to say I'm gonna have to head out probably in like 5 minutes, so it might be one of the last questions.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I'll finish this, and we're gonna wrap it up. And this is surely is not gonna be our last segment or our last stage. And hopefully, like the next one, we're gonna bring people on stage, just have like a little chat. So yeah, let me know, Stab.
So there's
I'm
a
all
question from
ears.
Lejero. So considering the Twitter interaction, how about making some of our official events on Twitter instead of Discord? For example, the best Rebels cosplay with the Rebels by Night hashtag. And that's pretty much the question.
Yes, that's a really good idea. I don't see why we can't do it or why wouldn't we. I believe the team will also back it up and support it. If the members are willing to and participate like in the challenge and also contribute on Twitter, then we definitely gonna give them all the support. We gonna guys see the see Nas in your comments. Don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure.
And there's another question.
I have to make
People are
one.
really
I feel like I have
curious.
to make one. I have to participate to the next to if we do like a main cosplay, I'll make something pretty crazy. I want to participate.
Well, then that's it. You guys took your answer. It is what it is. It's happening. It's gonna happen, and Nas is gonna be the first one to participate. It's gonna be cool. It's really gonna be crazy and sick to see it.
Yeah. So Ness, people are getting pretty curious. They want to know what the color of the lead road is gonna be.
Yes, that's a good question.
That's a good question. What is everyone's guesses here?
Oh.
Well, let me see.
Like
something very bright.
Red.
Yeah.
Oh, what about blue? Is it blue?
Blue.
Yeah, I can put
Probably
my
blue.
guess because I already know what color it is.
Is it is it red?
Did
Is
you?
it red?
Yellow?
White.
Way yellow. What do you mean?
Yellow.
My guess would have been between yellow and green. You know, like kind of between
Yeah,
a white
that's
list
what.
and a mod.
Like
Oh. What's yellow and green mixed together?
Lime
It's,
green.
yeah,
Oh,
lime green.
It's
Ooh.
pretty good.
Yeah, Nas should give us some spoil in there.
You know, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to. I suck at hyping up. Apparently, I'll just post 2 eyes and boom, that's gonna be my day.
Oh.
No, sincerely I'm very very excited about how I hope that the folks who are gonna receive it today understand the meaning of it. It's really like a thank you from the heart, and it's gonna come with what I hope is a lot of perks that you're happy to get, but also with a tremendous amount of responsibilities, Spider-Man, all that. And so, essentially, I just please continue helping us on all the community front. We really need you to help us be be the role models, be the builders in the community that is going to last, hopefully decades. So please. We want everyone to be congratulated. I'll be congratulating every single person. Some people are clapping behind me, probably not good, but yeah, it's I'm very excited for all of you to to receive it. I'm really hoping that every single person in the audience is gonna receive it. Thank you so much, everyone. I think is it good if we wrap it up?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up with the New York vibe in the streets.
Oh, I'm so sorry. They're coming from me. They're coming from me. I've been too much of a rebel.
I know it's crazy. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here and being with us. This is not just about Rebels as a project. It's more about family, community. Feel like you're in your second home coming here. Just spread the vibe, the good, positivity. This is what we're all about. And is there anyone else who would like to say something before we head off? And also thank you, Nas, for taking the time to answer all the questions. Of course, we tried our best to answer pretty much all of them and cover the most important ones. But as I said, this is not going to be our last one. We're gonna organize something for the future. Much events and stuff are coming up. I know that you all are excited for the Twitter thing, so we're gonna announce it soon. We'll just arrange it in a very beautiful way, and I'm pretty excited to see all the costumes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think that so everything that Flora said, plus one last alpha. I hope that everyone is gonna absolutely love the crazy trailer that is coming up very soon. It's gonna be like no other.
We're the most excited about it.
You have a trailer?
That is gonna be insane. That is gonna be insane. Trust
Too
me.
many excited info for one stage, you know.
He
Trust
just
me.
literally he saved the whole alpha to the last. Oh my god.
There's some. I see that like there are like 50 people that left the audience compared to before, and some of them are going to be very sorry to have missed this one.
Okay, but we have snitchers. Don't worry. Like we're all seasons. We're gonna let them know. Everyone is gonna know. Like right now, the rumors are gonna start spreading. Don't worry about it. Like we're gonna have so much questions. I'm just saying. I don't know when is it gonna be. So don't even ask, please. It's all about Nas. It's all like Nas's hand right now. When trailer Nas. I can't wait.
Trailer. Yeah, it's gonna be insane. It's still, I think that like the very last modifications were either done yesterday or today. It's gonna be insane. It's wow. It's like I think I've seen it probably 500 times at this point. Like I'm addicted to it. So we'll see.
Your dream said that tell Nas that I love him more than my mom, and I think that's the best to wrap it up.
Oh my god, what?
Okay, what did you do? What did you do with the cult?
I'm sorry. Everyone's joining Nas gang. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, this
So
trailer is gonna, I hope, like really break everything. And yeah, I'll let you finish, Laura.
we're pretty excited about that as well. So stay tuned for the Twitter challenge. Tell Unique also will elaborate on that later on, and more yet to come. Stay tuned. That's it. Thank you so much for being here, and we love you. Stay rebel.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you everyone for tuning up.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nate, for answering questions too.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go, Rebel Gang.
Oh, yeah, everyone.